Hello, I am jenny.longinnes and I am going live on Facebook and Instagram right now, so if I'm not quite looking at the screen, that's why, because I have two. But I am so happy that you are joining me. I rarely go live, so this is really fun, and I'm a little nervous, but I wanted to first of all recap the summit trip that we just had. If you are part of our Live from New Orleans event on Facebook and you've been following along with our summit journey, or on Instagram, if you've been watching my Instagram stories and you've been seeing me at Coach Summit in New Orleans doing like crazy live workouts and trainings and parties and all those types of fun recognition things that you've been seeing me share about, I want to just thank you for following along. It is really crazy that that was my third summit that I attended, and so I kind of want to take you guys back a little over 2 years ago and tell you really just how I got started with coaching and what interested me in it. So in probably January of 2015, I was following a girl on Instagram, and I didn't know her, and she just seemed a lot like me. You know, she was a teacher, and she was around my age, and she was really into health and fitness. And the reason I found her is because we were part of the same community, like on Instagram. And so I found her through a hashtag, and we both really liked health and fitness. We were both like sort of starting to post health and fitness stuff only on Instagram. But she just seemed really fun, really full of energy and positive. And at that time, I loved health and fitness, and I was going to the gym at least an hour or an hour and a half every day. And with teaching and all those responsibilities kind of building up, I was noticing that I was having less and less time for the gym, or it was just really taking up like my whole evening with my husband. And so I wanted to just have like more time to spend with him, basically, and not use that as an excuse to not work out, because that was like the last thing I wanted to do, because I really loved working out. So I was looking for ways to start working out at home and just hold myself more accountable. And to be honest, like, I loved gym classes. I loved body pump, and I liked going to the yoga and the Pilates and body combat and all those types of classes. But I really felt isolated. I didn't feel like anybody was like in it with me. I was working out next to people, and it almost seemed like a competition of who could do this move better or have this higher weight. And I do like going to classes, and I like working out live with people, but I like to do it with people that I know and that are like in it with me. And I just wasn't really feeling that at the gym that I was going to at the time. So I wanted to do something from home, something that was going to be quick and convenient, something that I was not going to give up on, that I was not going to use as an excuse. And so I did a couple YouTube videos, but I wasn't really sticking to that as much, and I wanted like a set program to follow. I didn't just want to like do a random video and then like figure out what I needed to do the next day. So I was seeing this girl post on Instagram, and I was checking her Instagram every day. I would see, what is Ashley up to? I want to see what she's doing today. And it was just always positive. It was like the light of my day to go and look at her page, which is just crazy to say because I didn't know her at all, but I felt like I really knew her. So she started talking about how she was a coach. And I had no idea what that meant. Like, did she coach a sport? Maybe she was coaching her middle schoolers. I don't know. So she was saying how she was doing it, online, virtually from home, making some money, supporting people in their health and fitness journey while she was doing her teaching job, which I thought was really cool because that's just a passion of mine. And so then she started to talk about how she was pregnant and how she was going to be able to leave her teaching job and not return in the fall when her baby was going to be born. And that really attracted me because we were also going to start trying to start a family, and I was so fearful. I remember, crying to my husband saying, I really want to have a baby, but I also don't want to leave the baby every day. I don't want to, go to school and take care of other people's kids while I'm really just going to have my mind on the one that is mine. And, I've always thought I would be a working mom, because I've grown up, without my mom, worked most days, and so that's just what I thought I would do, of course, because I went into teaching. That's what I thought that I would do forever. And I was sort of losing that spark for teaching, and I, again, just really wanted to stay home, but I didn't know how we were going to be able to make it work at the time financially. And so she started talking about this, and I thought this could be an opportunity for me to do the same, really, and have the same positivity and be helping people like she was. I didn't think I could really help people. I didn't think I had a story to share, and I didn't know if people would be even interested in what I had to say at all, because I was just a regular girl, just a teacher from Ohio, living in Virginia now, newly married. Like, it just seemed like everybody else I knew. But really, now I know everybody has a story to share, and you can be inspiring by just being normal. So, anyway, I finally, after 6 months of following her, decided to reach out. I sent her an email, or I think I commented on her picture. I sent her an email, and I wanted to do a program she was doing. It was a Pilates and yoga inspired program. So in the back of my mind, I knew I wanted to see what this coaching thing was all about, but I totally wanted to see what her group was about first, So I decided to join her challenge group. I bought a challenge pack, which is the Pilates and yoga inspired program. That was the one I chose. And, 30 days of Shakeology. I bought that challenge pack, and I was in her challenge group in May of 2015. So I was in it for a month, and she told me, I said, I'm kind of interested in coaching, but I really just want to check it out and see what this group's about, see if I think it would work for me. So I spent the whole 30 days deciding if coaching was for me or not. And I looked up, all these YouTube videos and did my research, because really I was skeptical. How do you build a business online? I didn't even know she used Facebook at the time. I thought it was just Instagram. So I started asking her questions, emailing back and forth, probably for 4 weeks. She even offered to, call me on the phone and talk with me and my husband, because of course he was so skeptical too. And she said her husband was skeptical at the time as well. And so it just made me feel comfortable that they, did this research too, and found out that it was a good fit for them. So on Memorial Day of 2015, I decided, okay, I'm just signing up as a coach. I couldn't sleep. I would be up at night thinking about it, and I just knew at that point, if I couldn't stop thinking about it, I just had to give it a shot. There was nothing to lose. It's actually free to sign up as a coach when you bought the challenge pack like I did. So she was like, you could just sign up as a coach, just see how it goes. I feel like you just need to do it. So I did, and at that time we were moving into this house, and so it was a horrible time for me to sign up, because we were moving, and school was ending, which you teachers know it's craziness at the end of the year with testing and all of the activities that you have at the end of the year during school. And also we were starting to try for a baby, so it was just craziness. But I just knew that it was something that I had to do, and I knew if I didn't do it then I would just keep putting it off, and why wait? So I signed up, and we moved into this house, and then as soon as I had everything unpacked, I dove into the coach training. She plugged me into the team pages on Facebook. I, of course, was continuing to be in her challenge group, and I really never looked back. I knew that she was able to make this work, and she was able to, in 1 year, replace her teaching income, and I just thought, if she could do that, I can too. Clearly, she knows what to do, and she's going to show me. And that, you know, she's my mentor. That's exactly what she did. And so it took us a long time to get pregnant. You know, I went through that whole emotional roller coaster for about 10 months, and then we finally did. And that was in, you know, January. And then by the spring, I knew that I was at a point in my business, you know, working alongside my teaching job in the mornings before school, a little bit after school, and then in the evenings, I would put the extra time into it because that was my goal. And so eventually I was able to announce that I was not going to go back to teaching. It was definitely a tough decision, but in the end, I knew that that was what we envisioned for our family, was for me to stay home with our babies, but also, you know, generate some income to contribute to our family and give me an outlet outside of mom and wife life to be able to feel fulfilled on different levels. And so that's what I did. And so school ended in June, 2016, and I had Haley in September, and I've been a stay-at-home, work-at-home mom boss ever since. And it has just been the biggest blessing for our family, of course, for Haley and for me. And then now, really, for all of the people that I get to work with as challengers and as coaches, I am now, all these coaches' mentor, just like my coach Ashley was my mentor. And so I'm plugging people into these trainings and, helping them reach their goals and running challenge groups with them to teach them how to do exactly what I did. Oh, thank you. Someone was watching me walk across the stage at Summit. Thank you so much. And now it's crazy because I was at Summit. I got to walk across the stage twice for being recognized for helping these people who I never thought would even care or never thought would follow me. And so that has just been a really surreal moment because I went to my first summit at 7 weeks after starting coaching. I had no clue. I didn't know a single person. I drove from Richmond to Nashville by myself, but I just knew that this was a community I wanted to be a part of. And I just trusted, because the girl that I followed and the couple of other people I knew that did it seemed like I'd be friends with them in real life. It seemed like they were my kind of people. And so I just really trusted my gut and trusted that connection that I had built with them over the internet and went for it. And so, 3 summits later, 2 years and a couple months later, I'm at this point where I'm able to help other people do the same thing. So if you've been following along and you at all are interested in learning more about how you can coach, I know I've been talking to a bunch of you who have just had FOMO from our Coach Summit trip and just are interested in seeing if it's a good fit for you, then please do not hesitate to reach out to me. And if you're in the live event on Facebook, if your friend or somebody invited you to this live event, reach out to them, because we all share our resources and trainings and we're all on one big team. So reach out to the person that invited you to this event, or if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, please send me a message, send me an email. You can comment below and I'll get back to you. And it is too great of an opportunity to not share, because it just has changed our lives so much. I think about what I would be doing if Beachbody hadn't come into my life and I hadn't had this goal and had this vision for myself and for our family. And so it would be selfish for me to not share it with you. So please do not hesitate. If it's been on your mind, if it's something you can't stop thinking about, you can't sleep like how I was, then it is worth at least talking to me about it. I'm hopping on the phone in a few minutes with somebody who's really interested in doing it. So I would love to talk to you more about it and see if it's something you think you could do. And if you don't think you can do it, you can, because I didn't think I could really either, which is why it took me 6 months to even reach out. So do you guys have any questions? Thanks, Catherine. Do you guys have any questions for me about coaching? I told you all that I was going to go live, and I told you to get some questions ready, and that I would answer them here live. I don't think that there are any questions posted, but if you have questions, comment on the video, and then I'll go back to it and answer some of them for you. Hopefully a lot of your questions were answered from our live event at Summit. You know, that is, of course, like not our everyday thing we do as a coach, because that is such a special event, an annual event. But as far as like our day-to-day as coaching, you see a lot of that from me on my Instagram stories and in my posts. And I just really fit coaching in around my mom life. And I work early in the morning before Haley gets up, and during her nap time. And then if I need to, you know, check in with my challengers one last time before I go to bed and make sure that they've stayed on track for the day, then I do that and I make it work, and I sacrifice, you know, maybe some TV time or just doing some other things because it's allowed me to stay at home. So that kind of gives you a little bit of idea of how I fit coaching into my busy life. But anyway, you guys, finding new challengers. It's funny that Catherine's like, I don't know if I'd be able to, you know, find new challengers. Like, who would want to do a fitness challenge with me? And the truth is you guys, when I started, I probably had, you know, 50 friends on Instagram. And so I want you, at least for the people who are on Instagram, or if you're on Facebook and you didn't know me prior to all of this, like, that's how I find people, is make friends with people on social media and connect with you all, like, about anything, about, you know, bows for my baby. And just I find people like who are like me and that I want to talk to and want to work with and want to help. And then we just connect and we chat and we figure out if, you know, a challenge would be a good fit for you. So I basically just build relationships and like to talk to people and like to add value. And then if people decide that a challenge is for them, then we get them all plugged in and ready to go. And I get them set up with a program that's going to work for them. So do you guys have any other questions? Of course, feel free to message me, email me, or talk to the coach that invited you to this event. But I hope that seeing what we experienced at Summit showed you a little bit of the culture and community. I work by myself on this couch pretty much every day, but I am online talking with my team every day. And at these live events that we go to a couple times a year, it is just so much fun to be able to get to spend time with these people who obviously have the same interests and passions as me, which is really cool to see. So will you be at Summit with me next year? I mean, come on. It is in Indianapolis. And so we've never had Summit there before, so it's going to be really fun and exciting. And I am buying my ticket now for next year's 2018 Summit in June. And I want you guys there with me. So I can't wait to get to talk to you more if you think this could be for you. All right, thank you for listening to my story. You know, more to come. Our team is just growing. We are bringing on new coaches and supporting new coaches and just showing people that they can help people too, whether you think you can or not. All right, bye guys. I can't end this.